everyone, welcome to this week's Dollhouse Diary. I have a little bit to report. Let's start today with the peacock because I'm pretty excited about it. The peacock is done, as I think I showed you last week, and I have begun the flowers on either side of the base here. I have two little flowers left to do right there, and then I'll be starting on these border sections. So I didn't do quite as much this week on the peacock as I normally do. A little bit busy with some other things, but this is now 45 hours of work, so still progressing. I did finish a braided rug for the housekeeper's room, so let me show you that. Here it is in place. Let's see if I can get more light in there. I have put a bureau in here, but I don't think this is the bureau that I'm going to keep here. It feels a little bit too big and kind of blocks too much of that desk that's in the back. So I think I will either make or look for a slightly less imposing bureau. So I still plan to put a chair here. Not quite sure where the lamp is going to sit, but probably next to that chair somewhere. And then I think I'm going to put another rug. Well, I know I'm going to put another rug right here, and I'm already working on making that rug. And there it is. So this one I'm doing a little bit differently. In the last one, I used 3 different colors in every strand of the braid. And in this one, I'm doing some sections of like solid red, and then I'm working towards a solid tan over here. And this rug will be a little bit bigger. I'm getting a little bit faster at it, so that's encouraging. And that's really it for the Dollhouse news. I have a lot of ideas in my head about the housekeeper's room, some other things I want to put some pictures in there, a mirror, a different bureau, as I said. I think one more little reading lamp, possibly. I'd like to put some accessories on top of the bureau and some accessories on the desk. I did order a chair that I want to put in front of the desk, but it's on back order. So I'm kind of looking around to see if I can find anything else for the desk because I'm impatient, or I may end up making some chair to go with the desk. I'd like to put some curtains in the window in there, and I would like to have a hook with some things hanging on it, like maybe another dress and an apron or something like that. So I thought it would be nice to have a sampler, an embroidered sampler in there that maybe, you know, the lady of the house had done went back when that was the fashion for young girls to do that sort of thing, and they've still got it and don't really want it in the main part of the house, so they stuck it in the housekeeper's room. But I also want her to have some pictures of family and friends, you know, scattered around the room. Every time I look in that room, I'm really happy with the quilt. If you take the quilt off the bed, it got a little wonky on one corner. It got a little bit off kilter. It wasn't quite square. I know from my experience as a quilter that, you know, if you get off by a 1/16 of an inch as you progress through the quilt, that really multiplies. Well, basically in Dollhouse world, that means if you get off by a thread as you work through the quilt, that multiplies, and that's really what happened. So getting that absolute precision accuracy in those quilt squares is a skill I'm going to have to keep working on when I'm working in this scale. Okay, so that's it with the Dollhouse. In other world, climate change, wow. So yesterday we had severe thunderstorms warnings and a tornado warning. I live in Western Massachusetts. I've lived here my whole life, except for 1 year. And when I was growing up here, that was just about unheard of that we would have a severe storm like that, and tornado warnings anyway were unheard of. You might rarely get a very severe thunderstorm. We have them every year now. We did not end up having a tornado yesterday, but there are a lot of areas that are being cleaned up still, roads that are closed, trees down on roads, on power lines, on houses and buildings. So there was quite a fair amount of damage. We did fine where we live. We we live kind of at the base of a mountain, and I think that it seems to shelter us from the worst effects of these storms that come through all the time now. So that happened, and the other thing that I've noticed is, I don't know what it is about this year, but the flies are terrible. I kill dozens of them a day. You know, we have screens in the window, and we have the doors closed and everything like that. I don't know where they're coming from. I mean, I see them outside. They must just be like swarming in every time we go in and out of the house. But I'm just killing dozens of flies a day. It's totally disgusting. I'm at the point of I'm almost having nightmares about them. And then just as bad as the flies is the spiders. Oh my God, we have never had so many spiders. They are building webs on the outsides of all my windows. Thank God it's at least on the outside, but I clean a window and the next day there's spider webs all over the window. And the worst is there are these huge grayish white spiders that are building spider webs in the upper corners of the main door that we use. And every day I like knock these things out with a stick, you know, sweep them out, and the next day they're there again. This is horrible, but I finally took one of those electric fly swatters, which is what I'm killing all the flies with, and I went out and I like knocked the spiders down with it, and I had to zap them like a zillion times to kill them, because these things are big ugly spiders, at least big for Western Mass. And I guess I discouraged them enough, because today there are no spiders, although maybe they were just hibernating from the storm yesterday. We'll see if there's spiders there in the doorway tomorrow. But ew, ew, ew. Again, things that we dealt with a little bit in the past, but in recent years it's like awful, and it's disgusting, and it's just so gross. The flies are just so gross, and it just makes me feel like my house is disgusting. And I keep a not always tidy, but definitely a clean house. Like, I'm pretty like, I wouldn't say obsessive, but like I definitely don't like filth and grime and dirt in my house, and I keep it pretty clean. So just having these flies around is just so gross. Okay, so not to end on a lousy, miserable note like that. I'm really having a good time with the housekeeper's room. I'm having a good time doing the rug. It's, you know, I've been listening to an audiobook from the library of free audiobook while I do it. Listening to a book by Rose Wilder Lane. I read another book of hers, and, you know, sort of Little House on the... Hey! Shh! Little House on the Prairie, but later years, and it's, you know, just, I don't know, sort of fun, nostalgic things for me to read. So, Rose Wilder Lane, if you're not familiar with her, is the daughter of Laura Ingalls Wilder. Okay, so that's my news. Sorry to have carried on and ranted about the flies and the spiders so much, but yeah, they're kind of like taking up a lot of my brain space right now because I'm so creeped out by them. Anyway, hope you have some good dollhouse therapy this week, and I will talk to you next weekend. Bye!